Just having a look here at MYG, which is Mutiny Gold. Okay, basically this is all the data I've got on this one here. Again, we've put in our quadrants from highs to lows, okay, and our overall fib set here on this side here. There's our 61.8 and our 50%, and it's right on our quadrants midline, right where its stock is sitting at the moment. Okay, so interesting. What I've done in here is I've done the reverse fib from this high back down to the low, and it's thrown up our 161 target right in here, and as we can see, as it hit it, it was right up against the midline of the Andrews pitchfork taken from that low, high and low. So it hit that target perfectly, retraced back, and then went up through it. Okay, the 261 target was around here. So, okay, so we basically went through that target. What I'd also done is I'd taken a fib projection from the low here up to the breakout point here. Okay, that threw up targets which all aligned. Okay, along here. Okay, and there was a bit of a dip off there by the look of it. Yeah, there's a little top in there, and then it bolted up through it again, and then it hit our 100% here, and has come back, and it's done an A, B, C back. The interesting part with this here, this top in here, it looks like a double top, but it's not. What that is there, that's an Adam and Eve top. Okay, and they're quite a bit of a significant top. Okay, they just don't come out of anywhere. And if we have a look at the volumes, let's just find the right spot first. Okay, let's put that over to that candle there. Okay, tipped a little blow off top, and this over to that one there. Now we'll have a look at the volumes, and basically it shows it's greater volume on the Atom than on the Eve. The volumes are very low, okay, and that's very typical of Atom and Eve tops. Okay, one thing I'd be a little bit concerned about here is on this one, we've got like this triangle formation here. You could probably draw this a couple of different ways, and different chartists do it different ways. Some would draw it like so, and that would be an equilateral triangle. Okay, I'm tending to look at this, and I'm thinking that this is more like a descending triangle, actually. I can see it's been trying to make some little bottoms in here, and our little standard error wants to turn up, but whether it's just going to fill in the rest of this triangle here first and sort of, you know, do like a bit of a sideways movement, the rest of the chart will tell us why. One of the other main concerns is the 50 period moving average has crossed and is pointing down, and it's crossed the 30. That to me, or the 30's crossed it, that to me is my usual rule. It's the 30-day kiss of death. Okay, so no likeys that one. And what we'd also note here that we do have a lower gap to fill. So this one here could quite easily, and the gap is pretty close to our 61.8. So this one to me, just by looking at the chart and the moving averages, I'd be thinking could break down. So I'd be aware of that. That would be the risk factor would be in here around about 11 cents, I'd say. And at the moment, until it breaks out of this triangle, heads up, I can't really see a great deal of reward there in it. If we do also have a look at the overall chart too, it is still in downtrend. It is, even though it's had this nice big mighty up move, it is still overall a downtrending chart. So let's just have a quick scoot again at the indicators that we've got here, and our MACD is trying to flatten out here. Okay, our SCOF is still pointing down. Our little short entries on our demers, the little are just trying to make a little buy here. The demer's trying to flatten out here as well. And demer is now at about 45. Okay, it needs obviously to break above this line here, is what one would be thinking. And one would be thinking, as far as divergence goes, we'd probably draw a line off of this here. So it's not too far away, but could still do a little scoot down. Let's have a look at the weekly indicators. And our demer is still heading down. We've got a little short exit here, but it's trying to straighten out. Scoff is still on the way down, and MACD is still on the way down. Weekly wise, chart wise, okay, what we've got in here is at the moment is the first phase of a golden cross on the weekly as well. That's why it's had such a mighty run. Second phase of it is still coming, and will it come? Now, as we've had before with this little cross in here, and then the nice little up, okay, we've got another cross here. So next week it really needs to hold this line and open higher and close the week higher to be up. Should it possibly open the week lower, I would be thinking that it's probably going to come back and revisit that 11 cents, and then it might even get down a little bit lower. Okay, but yeah, that's what I tend to be thinking about on mutiny gold. There could be a mutiny. Anyway, we'll be back with the next one. Next cab off the rank is ADO. This is the overall chart, and what I've done is I haven't bothered to put the overall fib set in, because at the moment we've got the overall quadrant lines in, which are quarters, and as we can see that the stock is trading nowhere near anything that's going to be affected as far as fib or overall projections quadrants go at the moment. So what we're going to do is we're just going to zoom in, and we're going to deal with the more immediate and the last couple of tops, and we're just going to use the fibs on those, okay, basically. And what I'm sort of basically looking at here is we've got our 200-day here. These are our overall fibs. It's come from the 38.2%. is where it sort of found a little bit of support and basically has taken off through there. Now it's got through this 23.6, okay, here at 8.1, 8.2. So one would be thinking 8.1, 8.2 would be a support level for the stock. Okay. The other thing I've done too is I've drawn a fib projection from the low to this basically breakout point here. Okay, and that's given us fib projection targets again at the 8.1, 8.2, and a little top in there at 9 and a smidgen. As we can see, it just went smidgenly through it. Yeah, so basically what I'd be thinking, once it sort of clears this level, the next level would be in here at the 9.8, and then it would need to get through the old high here at 10.5, and the 100% is up here just shy of 13, and we'll find that our 161 fib projections are up here at 16.5. The other thing I've noticed here too, and what I'm attributing this to here is a bull flag. This line here is either a falling wedge or a bull flag. Falling wedges usually come at the a low point near a bottom, and as we can see by the overall of the stock, I'll just rescale that. The overall of the stock, it is far from its highs. Okay, and the other thing that this stock has done too, it's done a lot of time. Okay. And when stocks do a lot of time like this, they can do the next factor, which is a lot of price, okay, and they can do them very quickly, okay. So basically, once we get past the point that it hasn't been through, which is 10.5, I think it is, yeah, 10.5, you could see this stock move very quickly. Now I'm just going to find out what our bull flag target is. I'd sort of be looking at that, would be our flagpole, and I'll just put it in yellow so we know what's what. Okay, that would be, say, the length of the flagpole. What I tend to be thinking here would be from the breakout point we measure, and that gives us up there to our 13. That's what we'd be thinking it would go on a bull flag. Okay, now if we were to measure that flagpole and take it down to the closing high and just be a bit more conservative, okay, conservative is always good. Overall, we know that it's could be going up around that 10. So that would take us up to just on around about the 12 mark. Okay, so yeah, not a big deal of difference. I suppose it is if you got 2 million of them. It's a huge difference, but one would be thinking that would get us through the 10.5. Okay, and that would get it into clear air or blue sky. Okay, now this might not happen overnight. Type of thing. It might take a week to do this, but that's the direction it's heading in. If we just have a look at the indicators for the stock, and we can see our MACD has definitely turned, and it's a buy, is what we'd be expecting. Our SCOF also, our volume is up massive. Okay, amount on this one. Our DEMA has bounced off the 35, so this DEMA can run to 70 conservatively. As we can see, it's done 3 trips to the 80 mark in the past, okay? But it quite conservatively can run to the 70 mark is what I tend to be thinking. RSI is on the way up as well, so, and it's still got more to go, okay? And again, it in the past has been through. We've been up to 90 before in the past on a very much a vertical. So yeah, it's got plenty of room to move on the daily charts indicators there. Just going to have a look at the weekly charts indicators. Okay, and DEMA on the weekly here, and SCOF and RSI are all turning up. Okay, and even our MACD hasn't turned up, which is strangely enough. Okay, so it's one day. If it gets another day or so, one would expect that would turn up as well. It's been pretty much flatline on the weekly MACD for a while. Okay, so interesting. Weekly volumes are now up again, as we can see. That was the flat period in here. Weekly volumes are definitely up. Not as big as this spike up in here, which was for, oh God, yeah, we'll get off the weekly chart just for the simple reason that we've had a look at the indicators now, and we'll just try and find something in here. Okay, weekly chart. Whew, scaring myself there for a minute. All flatlining it. Okay, it came back to the 30 period. Okay, our 7 and let's get rid of this. Our 7 and 14 are on the up. Okay, and our little standard error is on the way up as well. Okay, bollies have come in here nice and tight, so this is the weekly. I would be expecting that to turn and kick up. Okay. It has run quite hard in the past, this one as well. Okay, and it had this golden cross here on the weekly chart. So, and that 50 and 30 are now going through.